Good afternoon, Miss Young. Hello, hope you're having a wonderful evening. My name is Terrence Williams. I am sending you this podcast to discuss our assignment for um, um, legal aspects pertaining to dealing with a lawyer. Um, this podcast, I'm going to try to shorten it up a little bit. I think the last one I had was about 11 minutes long, so we're going to try to make this one a little bit shorter. You asked the question of how the long range team acted in comparison with materials from the reading assignment. The way that they acted, they was too excited about what they were doing in reference to the contract that they had for the type of equipment that they were seeking. They didn't have everything organized like they should have. It should have been a little bit more organization. Both of them was trying to talk at the same time, which should have been confusing to the attorney. It's kind of hard for you to kind of listen at all the aspects of what is involved with the contract when both of you guys are trying to talk at the same time. I'm a big person about using correct English and so on and so forth. So they was really using street language and stuff. So it's probably kind of hard for the attorney to understand what they was really asking her. The excitement kind of overtook the emphasis of what they was actually there for. What the Long Rangers could have done to ensure that they had a most successful consultation is show up in a professional manner. When you're dealing with contracts and everything, and they should have shown up. I like professional dress, but of course, sometimes people not going to dress professionally, and then, they didn't have all their documentation, outlined. They didn't ask no questions. They pretty much just kind of threw the stuff down on the table, say, hey, here's what we got. Tell us what's wrong. And then it kind of went from there. How the attorney acted in comparison with the materials from the reading assignment. Well, the attorney didn't give out enough information on herself. She didn't even let them know that she was able to advise them on the issue that they had at hand. She didn't let them know that, whether she was an expert in this field. She pretty much didn't lay out an outline on how she expected to be paid. Even though she did say something about the pay, she didn't lay it out according to the aspects of whether she's hourly, flat rate, or contingency plan. So there was some doubt there. Pretty much, she didn't show a whole lot of organization. In how she was questioning them. She kind of scanned over the contract. To me, I like somebody to take some time and read the contract, and you may have to read it 2 or 3 times to actually get the ideal of what the contract is. So to me, she just kind of scanned and said, oh, okay, this is a good contract. You guys can sign, so on and so forth. She could have acted a little bit more professional, got their attention by saying, hey, hold on, this is a serious nature and matter. Let's kind of slow down. Let's talk about this so that I have an understanding of what you expect from me. You have an understanding of what I expect from you. She actually took cash, didn't issue a receipt, stuff of that nature. And then I never heard her mention anything about a confidentiality agreement. That's a big issue when it comes to people doing contracts with different agencies, especially in the entertainment world. Confidentiality is everything. So, she never mentioned that. And they didn't exchange copies. That is a big thing. You always get copies of everything that you do with an attorney, because that's what holds everybody accountable. You gotta have copies. If there's no problem, so we don't get into the problem of saying, hey, this is not what I said, this is what I said, or so on and so forth. Other issues that I saw was she tried to force a contract on them. Never explained what the contract was about. just kind of pushed it into him, said, hey, okay, here's my contract, you know, go ahead and sign this, so on and so forth. Never really gave a good explanation on what the contract was about, and like you know, I said previously, she never explained, you know, what type of pay she expected and stuff. She just threw a fee out there, and those guys was willing to accept it. A lot of times when you know, to summarize this thing, in my professional dealings that I've had with attorneys, you know, I like to go in and find out on my initial consultation is you know, whether the contract that I have or the contract that I'm working on is a feasible contract. You should be able to tell me that upon initial consultation, and say, hey, you know, this is a good contract or this is not a good contract, and they should be able to advise me, you know, in that brief period of time of how, you know, or whether I need to get back with them or give them time to look it over. And they should, the fee basis, I think, in my own opinion, the fee program or the fee basis that they go on should be based on, you know, what type of contract it is, whether it's a, you know, if it's a contingency or if it's a flat rate or hourly rate, you know, and then we, you know, we can kind of, you know, we can kind of make a judgment from that, you know what I'm saying, hey, whether this is a good attorney or not. One of the main questions I usually ask when I go in to see him is, have they ever had any issues like this before? What was the outcome? You know, what were some of the do's and the don'ts, or what were some of the pros and the cons of the contract? All of those things are very important issues, in my opinion, and those questions have to be asked to kind of give you a clear and concise synopsis on what, you know, on what you're actually expect from the attorney. And when I say expect from the attorney, I mean that you should expect them to give you feedback on what you're, you know, what type of contract you're actually indulging into. Word cited. Um, Works cited. Most of this came from the entertainment. Trying to remember what the name of our book was. It was the Entertainment Law Nutshell, a Nutshell, second edition, chapter 6, and a lot of it came from our weekly readings, and also it came from the video as well, that was works cited as, the works cited was dealing with lawyers, and it was works cited as, trying to remember, how not to deal with a lawyer. So, you know, it was just a lot of things that we had to read this week. Very informative information. I'm trying to shorten this video up for you so that we don't have a problem loading it. I hope that my analysis of this situation was a good one. I've enjoyed this class. Looking forward to seeing you next month when I'm down at Full Sail. Thank you, Terrence Williams.